The video game industry has been doing it to us longer than we know.
What?
Doing updates on video games without our knowledge. It started way back on the NES, I realized. I watched a video today about Super Mario 3 and how there are 2 different versions on the NES cartridge. Maybe more, actually. I think it's just 2. But there was the original release one and then the revised version one for the United States.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like a couple like translation things from like the first one that was just like a poor translation from, Japanese to English. But just these minor differences. And you can actually when you look at the code, there's like one it's like USA-1 and one that's just like USA NA whatever without the dash. And then they like took apart the cartridges and showed that they're 2 completely different like ROM emulator chips. And I was like, they've been doing it to us since the beginning. So I don't feel like we have any reason to complain. Now we have a lot of reason to complain when with the released game, they want to do an update to like make it better or what have you, or they've been doing it to us since the beginning.
Well, I feel like you're talking about 2 different things.
I very much am, but I just thought it was kind of funny
because like they straight up release broken ass shit.
Yeah.
And you pay full price for it,
Yeah.
and then they go, oh
yeah, here's the completed game now.
Here you go.
Well, no, I just thought that was actually really cool. That I don't know how often that really did happen with other like cartridges and other games, or even like if that continued on with like PlayStation games with like reprints of like newer like discs and stuff. Because it's generally like, because they only like will mass produce them out of like, for first sale, and then they'll just keep producing more. That there's nothing preventing them from going into the software or into the hardware, the game itself, and changing it, and have there be multiple different versions of the same game on the same system.
Didn't they I have this memory of them like actually releasing,
unless it's like, but then this is like that game but 1.5, Kingdom Hearts Final Mix.
No, there was what game was it? It was actually kind of recently too. They released it was to mess with people's heads. They released multiple different versions of the same game.
It sounds familiar.
I can't remember what it was, though.
If you guys know, let us know. I think we need to get into the episode.
Yeah, this is Tommy.
This is Jacob.
This is
Tommy and Jacob's mixtape. I used to be able to do a pretty good Jimmy Stewart impression.
Yeah.
Oh, move on. Just a little bit in the back of the throat, and you just kind of, you talk with your mouth open a little bit like this, and a little bit of that mid-Atlantic, and I'm Jimmy Stewart. Nice to meet you. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh. How's everybody doing out there? Very quiet, silent intro.
I just couldn't remember if he was dead or not.
Very, yeah.
Yeah, he's been there for a while.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah.
Welcome back to TJ's Mixtape. Happy holidays. We are a movie review podcast. We talk about movies, who's in them, who made them, then an arbitrary rating at the end. We are in our holiday season. But before we get into that, we play a game. At the end of each episode, we randomly generate 2 stars, and then we connect them via co-stars and titles are in.
I just realized what we should have done for this is actually do like classic Hollywood or classic like Christmas actors or something, like someone from
You mean actually put a theme
like,
to it?
Yeah, actually, like
we could
like,
start doing.
Yeah,
that.
I mean, yeah. Anywho, yeah.
I also realized that this movie we should have done next year, because then that would have been the 80th anniversary of it. But,
well.
But so last week, if you didn't listen, our 2 stars were Idris Elba to J-Lo, Jennifer Lopez. Mine is pretty short, so I'm gonna go first because yours is longer.
Sure, yeah, why not?
Idris Elba is in Rock and Rolla with Mark Strong, and then Mark Strong is in Atlas with Jennifer Lopez.
What the hell is Atlas?
Atlas is a movie that she... Remember when J-Lo was getting a lot of hate because she was just coming out with a lot of crap that no one cared about? Atlas was one of those movies.
Turkey Time, gobble gobble. Yeah.
But, she had her documentary and then her, like, music video stint, and then she had this movie called Atlas, and went over to Mom's once, have dinner, and we put it on and we turned it off. It was that bad.
Oh, wow.
Which is very rare.
Rough times.
She is a woman that usually commits, but she was like, mm-mm.
Oh,
Mm-mm.
that's unfortunate.
It was
Yeah,
really bad.
Because I mean, yeah, J-Lo is actually a really wonderful performer. I mean, I wouldn't say she's like groundbreaking, but she's like she commits and she's fun to watch. She's better in her comedic roles. I feel a lot more.
I mean, I liked her in Hustler,
She's
but
great in Hustle.
Hustle. I remember liking her in that.
All right, so yeah, mine's a bit longer than that. That's actually really quick, a nice connection. So I got J-Lo in The Wedding Planner with Matthew McConaughey, who's in Wolf of Wall Street with Leonardo DiCaprio, who's in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood with Brad Pitt, who's in Snatch with Jason Statham, who's in Hobbs and Shaw with Idris Elba.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, when I was thinking of Idris Elba, the first thing that came to mind was Rock and Rolla because of the ensemble cast.
I don't know if I've seen Rock and Rolla.
You should.
I feel like I have,
It's good.
but I feel like I maybe get it confused with
Every other Guy Ritchie.
Smoking Aces.
Very different.
I've also never been a really huge Guy Ritchie guy,
True.
but did I use Snatch? No, I was thinking about using Snatch. I was trying to see if I could use Snatch.
Smoking
no,
Aces. I haven't thought about that movie.
Wait, no, I did use Snatch. Brad
No.
Pitt to
Yeah.
Jason Statham. Yeah. Anyway, all right.
Hey, 2 Guy Ritchie movies. Nice.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Crisis.
This is very much a movie that's about a crisis.
This is a movie about a crisis. We are doing 1946's It's a Wonderful Life.
Also originally known as The Greatest Gift.
Synopsis was actually kind of hard for me to write, but
That's fair.
I just wrote a look at a man's life through various stages, trials, and tribulations.
Yeah. I mean, that's very much what it is.
It's the last half an hour is the Christmas movie.
Yeah,
part.
exactly.
It's
Well,
very different than
He's,
what I thought it
like
was.
it got to the point where it was like, and Christmas morning, I was like, finally,
Yeah.
there we go. God damn, 40 minutes left of the film.
I can't remember. Have you seen it?
I'd never seen it before.
Did you like it?
I did.
Yes.
I did actually.
I really enjoyed it as well.
It ended, and it was kind of like, you know, that Danny DeVito meme of like, I get it.
Yeah.
That's where I was like, I get it now.
Well, finished
I get
it,
it.
and I immediately thought of you because I can't think of a movie that we reviewed in recent, or even watched in recent memory, that has that level of catharsis. We always talk about,
right?
you know, like
yeah.
it doesn't really feel like anything really changed for anyone. Like
Yeah.
this, the end of this movie comes in like a wave of just warmth and love and
It was
understanding.
making me tear up quite a
And
bit, actually.
It's just a great big hug
Yeah.
of an end of a movie.
I was like, oh, yes, everything's okay.
It's okay. It became okay.
It's a Christmas miracle.
Because it's like also, I mean, this is kind of jumping ahead, but if anyone in a movie, again, in recent memory that we watched, deserved to crash out, that man deserved to crash out.
100%. Yeah.
He put his nose to the grindstone for a long time
Yes.
before he finally went.
Well, and we can we'll get into more into that later. But like that's because it's a like George Bailey is that representation of the everyman. What almost any person that works really hard feels at some point, you know? So, yeah. But let's just do a quick little regular stuff, even though nobody really... I don't know if anybody listening is going to really know any of these people on here.
I didn't know anyone except for Jimmy Stewart.
I mean, you've definitely seen some Frank Capra, right? So, directed by Frank Capra.
Well, based on The Greatest Gift by Philip Doren Stern.
Yes.
Whew. Man, what a name.
Yeah, right?
Oh, yes.
Which he wrote like a 24-page like treatment and then shopped it around, and then once
Finally got...
once RKO Pictures picked it up. There's also a lot of like just film history in this that can't really get into in this 50-minute episode.
No.
But yeah, Frank Capra, who at the time was like one of the studio's like big like money makers. They're like he's the next big thing. He did also with Jimmy Stewart, Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, which Jimmy Stewart won an Oscar for. He also directed Arsenic and Old Lace. Those are the only two movies of his that I've also seen. Do you have any more that you wrote down?
I wrote down some ones that sounded interesting.
Fair.
Like It Happened One Night and You Can't Take It With You.
Oh yeah,
Those two sounded interesting.
Um,
Mr. Smith Goes to Washington really interests me.
I think you'll like it. Yeah.
Especially, because I have now become a Jimmy Stewart fan, and he's very interesting to watch.
He is
and
so good. I love. Yeah.
He's like this lanky.
He is Tom Hanks before Tom Hanks.
when I've like, I didn't even like, honestly, I've known the name Jimmy Stewart, but I never could really put a face to him.
Yeah.
But I remember going around circulating for a while, like in my feed and stuff, was a bunch of like 40s outtakes.
Oh, and there's a lot of him.
A lot of him, and he was really funny in those outtakes.
Just very honest with like, oh, what am I supposed to do? What's
Like
role?
I just remember there's one that was like the camera starts panning, and he goes, "Oh no, you're not supposed to move." Like he's like not aware that they were gonna do that. Wait. No,
I wasn't ready for that.
No. It's just very funny.
And then we have a collection of writers for this. As you said, Philip von Dornstern, who was the original like story by creator. And then we have, I'm going to say Joe Swerling first, because that seems like the person that wrote with Frank Capra was initially supposed to be doing that, who only got like additional scenes credited by.
Yes.
And then the rest screenplay by Francis Goodrich and Albert Hackett. And apparently there was some type of confusion or something where it's like Goodrich and Hackett were working on a script while Capra and Swerling were also working on the script, but not together. And then Capra contacted Goodrich and Hackett, like, hey, do you guys have the script ready? They're like, well, have it ready. It's done already. And they like finished it off in the night. And then the Writing Guild Association only wanted to credit Capra, Goodrich, and Hackett. And the only thing they could give Swerling was like additional scenes by. And Swerling stopped talking to Capra.
It's like,
Yep. So, fun little story on that. And then, I really have for starring, as we've already said, James Stewart, also known as Jimmy Stewart. The things, most of what I've seen him in now, including this, is Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, Rear Window by Alfred Hitchcock. I've seen the majority of Vertigo, and that's also Alfred Hitchcock. And then also Harvey, which was my first play that I ever acted in.
I don't know any of these people. I'm sorry. I don't have a lot to.
Don. Then I was and just our starlet of it, Donna Reed,
Mary.
So at this time, most actors, they had a contract with a studio.
Yeah.
And Donna Reed, she was the RKO starlet.
Yeah.
Then they would sometimes like trail. I'll give you Donna Reed if you give me blah 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 for 2 movies. You know.
Mm-hmm. Big cigar.
Yeah. Ha! See? I'm a big movie maker.
That's. I honestly don't know who to bring up because I don't know who were giant stars.
The guy who played Clarence,
Henry Travers.
he is one of the main doctors in the 1933 Invisible Man.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, and then I realized there's in one of the scenes, the man who plays the father in A Christmas Story is an upset bank customer. I think his name was Randall or something. But yeah,
I think we're just too young.
we are. I mean, unless you really like,
Unless you're a real film,
Yeah.
like a hardcore film person, I feel.
I mean, even people that are cinephiles of our age, like going back this far, like Jimmy Stewart, is like I've seen a lot more Jimmy Stewart. I'm very familiar with Jimmy Stewart's work, and I think that's also because of my theater background as well.
Yeah. Well, and it's like, I mean, Jimmy Stewart was one of the most loved character actors of the century, you know? Mm-hmm. So that makes a lot of sense because of his, I don't know, his portrayal of kind of what you're saying, the everyman kind of thing.
Well, it's weird. It's like, I really do see, like, I would say our generation's version of Jimmy Stewart is Tom Hanks.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, I could see that. I was scratching my back.
Yeah. Because there's just like the goofiness of the improv, like starting off with more of like comedy and then moving into more serious, like there is, I think I see a parallel of the trajectory of their careers.
Yeah, I mean,
it's just like
from Big to Castaway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To even like, Polar Express. The Tom Hanks show.
Tom Hanks presents Christmas.
That's good.
That feels like a promo right there.
But yeah, since 1946, just really I didn't not even like the children actors or anybody that I mean even one of them. But anywho, we don't need to dwell on this any longer.
I wanted to see. Go ahead. I want you. Do you just want to go to our scores?
I was ready to. Yeah, we can just move into the reviews. Yeah,
you do that. I wanted to see who young George was. Little George.
Young George that saved Mr. Gower.
Yeah,
that's also a touching scene too. All right, so very, very, very high scores, and also for a time when this was released, it was a box office flop, and it really didn't it was a failure to where they thought that Frank Capra had like lost his touch.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't until in like the late or early 70s when like ABC picked up the rights for it, royalty free, to like just air it whenever they want, where it started to pick back like gain traction of becoming this like holiday classic and becoming then now regarded as one of the best movies of all time. Like it's within the top 10, top 15, like AFI's, the American Film Institute's lists like every couple of years. It's like it's very prominent.
Well, I was always really disinterested in seeing it because of when I thought of It's a Wonderful Life, in tow went Miracle on 34th Street.
Mm-hmm.
And I find Miracle on 34th Street to be wholly uninteresting.
Yeah.
Even when we reviewed it, I was like, yeah, sure, cool, whatever. It's a remake. It's got John Hammond not making dinosaurs in it, and Matilda doesn't have magic powers. That's awesome. And I honestly, I don't remember what we gave that, or were we even scoring at that point?
I think we were, and I think we gave it just kind of like a mid
3 or whatever.
Yeah.
And because even then, the original one, I remember I have seen the original one of that, and I just sorry, whew, back on track. I just don't think that movie is very interesting. And then I always just thought It's a Wonderful Life was just something cut of the same cloth. And it wasn't until the very beginning of the movie when the Alpha and Omega start talking to the angel about this man. I went, wait. What in the Mark Twain is going on in here?
Right? And that's also very, very...
What is that thing? Letters to the Earth? That's what it made me think of.
Oh, yeah? Oh,
yeah. Man. Like, that's what it made me think of. And then Clarence shows up and he's reading Mark Twain. And I went, okay, there's actually more to this. Mm-hmm. And then it ends up becoming a drama about a man who kind of gets, what's the term? Pigeonholed?
Yeah.
Pigeonholed into his father's life. Who he respects his father and loves his father. It's not in a...
But he has the ambition, the desire, and the smarts to...
be something else. But because of his
more.
Character, he falls into this rut, you know? And I went, oh, wow, this is actually way more... This isn't just, oh, Christmas gonna make me happy, you know? Like,
it's actually a well flushed out story.
Yeah, like, and everybody's a pretty, like, well flushed out character. Even Mary only had one scene where I was like...
Do you want to do the reviews and then talk about this?
Yeah.
All right, so it's got an 8.6 on IMDb, and then a 94% tomato meter rating, and then a 95% popcorn meter rating. So I don't know. I was just like really, I mean, I see it why. I don't know if I'm up there with that. I am kind of. Yeah, I don't know why I wouldn't be.
Yeah,
we'll see where we end up.
Let's change your mind. So this has an 89 on Metacritic, which comes to universal acclaim, with 16 positive, 1 mixed, and 0 negative.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse you. Roger Ebert, who gave it 100. It's one of those ageless movies, like Casablanca or The Third Man, that improves with age. Some movies, even good ones, should only be seen once. When we know how they turn out, they've surrendered their mystery and appeal. Other movies can be viewed an indefinite number of times. Yeah. Like great music, they improve with familiarity. It's a Wonderful Life falls into the second category. I thought that was interesting. Like great music.
Yeah.
Improve with familiarity.
I appreciate that review. I think now...
Because he wrote this in 1999, I think, is when he wrote this.
That makes sense.
Yeah, 1999.
Were you able to find any of like the OG reviews? Mm-hmm. Did you? I mean, did you look through Wikipedia at all?
Well, yeah, I looked through the acclaim, and a lot of them were actually, when you said it got panned, a lot of what I was reading where they were like, yeah, it was actually.
Maybe it wasn't panned. What I read it was a commercial failure.
Well, yeah, because I mean, if we're talking money wise, the budget was 3.18 and it grossed about 3.3.
Exactly.
So it
yeah.
lost money on
Yes.
the deal. So I think it's also it's an interesting time that you're talking about. 1946.
Mm-hmm.
We are coming right out of
World War
the Second
II.
World War.
Yeah.
And this is an interesting movie to come out in that time because I feel like, and this is just all speculation, is that you're going to have kind of two camps going on. You're going to have people that are very jaded because of the situation or people that really need the catharsis of this.
Yeah.
And I kind of get both. If someone were to be like, this is some hodgepodge sentimental mush, especially coming all out of that, those horrendous years,
Yeah.
I could see really this irritating the shit out of you.
Yeah, it's definitely like at this time very much you're either looking to find this catharsis or you're like I don't want to go back into that.
Yeah.
I don't even like
Yeah, it's like it's an interesting time in the country.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, especially what this movie encompasses is up to that point two of the darkest moments in the country. The economic collapse going into the World War II.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah. True.
Because that's like the first big thing that happens.
Well, and just, and I guess also for reference, if people haven't seen this movie starts off in 1919 and then ends in 1946.
Yeah.
So it's even this movie is about 2.5 hours. It feels really long, and I don't mean that as an insult. It just feels really long because you're going through a lot of life.
You're going through a lot, and I would actually say it feels as long as it actually is. It feels like the 2 hours and 10 minutes it is.
Did you see there's an abridged version on Amazon?
No.
It cuts out like 20 minutes.
I wonder what they cut.
I know. That's what I was trying to figure out too.
Huh.
I think we should watch that at Christmas.
Yeah, sure.
Put that one on and just kind of see. I have thoughts of which they cut out.
I think there's a couple of parts I could think they cut
I
out.
think
Yeah.
we have a couple.
Him teasing Mary in the bush.
Maybe.
It's so wild.
No, well,
because you can easily cut that out and just have the people show up as he's picking up the bathrobe.
yeah.
Anywho, now more reviews.
Oh, I was just gonna do that. Going down, going down, going down. Yeah, there it is. The mixed is by The New Republic by Manny Farber, who gave it a 40. Capra is an old-time movie craftsman, the master of every trick in the bag, and in many ways, he is more at home with the medium than any other Hollywood director. But all of his details give the impression of contrived effect. To make his points, he always takes an easy, simple-minded path that doesn't give much credit to the intelligence of the audience.
Interesting. Very interesting. Huh. Because I feel like the simpleness of this movie is really what makes it magical as well.
Well, then there's this one that's a 70 at the New York Times by Bosie Crother, who gave it a 70. I don't know if I ever said that, sorry. Indeed, the weakness of this picture, from the reviewer's point of view, is the sentimentality of it all. Its illusion concept of life. Mr. Capra's nice people are charming, and his small town is quite beguiling place, and his pattern for solving problems is most optimistic, but somehow they all resemble theatrical attitudes rather than average realities. Mr. Capra's turkey dinners, quote-unquote, philosophy, while emotionally gratifying, doesn't fill the hungry paunch.
Okay. Cynics.
Kinda, right? Like,
no, exactly. And you see, that's and I guess approaching, like, what's interesting to realize and think is like, when this came out, I don't think Capra was making a Christmas film. He wasn't trying to make a Christmas story, a classic Christmas tale. You know what I mean? Like there is this idea, like, it's inspired loosely by a little bit of A Christmas Carol, of specifically
the ending
when George Bailey,
and it's not even the whole Christmas. It's the Christmas present future kind of mixed into one.
It's the Christmas present minus your future, because it's as if he never existed.
Yeah.
Well, Scrooge sees his effect on everybody.
And the aftermath of the ripple effect that he had even after his death.
Yes, exactly. So it's kind of a inverse take on A Christmas Carol in a strange way. No, not inverse, but you know what I'm trying to say.
Well, I'm also like thinking too. It's like we went into this thinking. Well, I'll speak for me, considering that's what I said. Went into this thinking this was going to be a Christmas movie.
Yes.
And it was released December 20th.
Yes.
So maybe people went in thinking it was going to be more of a Christmas movie than it actually was.
Maybe.
And then it started talking about all these traumatic events and all these things that these people had like kind of quite literally just gone through in their lifetime.
We got to also think it's 1946. The construct of a Christmas movie hasn't even been really created yet. This is kind of the rubric for it at the
This is such a like pop icon thing.
Yeah.
There's so many things in it that I was like, oh, that's where
this movie is one of the most influential movies of all time.
yeah, there's a lot.
It's like this, Casablanca, Citizen Kane, these three movies that I just said, we wouldn't have modern cinema like it is today.
We would. It would just been three other movies. Someone would have come along, but
No,
in this timeline,
no, I'm saying we wouldn't have we would still have movies, but we wouldn't have movies like we have them in a parallel timeline where three other movies they have completely different styles of movies. See what I'm saying?
No.
Yeah. So, so the biggest thing is like we get from this the beginnings of an idea of what a Christmas movie should be. Is one, it takes place on the holidays, or like its main focus or main big story arc is on the holidays, on Christmas Day specifically. It's about family, and there is a miracle by the end of it for the catharsis of our hero, you know. And this has all three of those, and it because this is so much more of a story about an everyman who literally loses everything, but to then find that because of his goodwill nature, those that he has already like supported around him are willing to come and support him in tenfold is the miracle and thing, you know? Like we have the foreshadow of it. When he gives his own money away to the town.
I did like that too. I like that there was Mary that did that.
Yeah. Like Mary gathered everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
and also Mary's the one that offered the money too.
I mean. I just thought like, cause I was sitting there when that scene was coming up and I was like, if he just kind of, I don't know, cause you have this idea of the 1940s, you know, and the relationship between husband and wife, especially in a white Christian kind of narrative, you know?
Yeah.
You kind of wonder, you're like, all right, what's going on here?
That's my money, woman.
Yeah. You know, and the fact that she was also, you know, and they made it, she works for the Red Cross and, you know, like, or, you know, did all this stuff for war relief and stuff. They just, that was a good idea.
I was really curious what they were going to do. Cause as obviously I'm like, well, we're going through his life and World War II just happened. I was like, where was George Bailey during World War II?
Oh, and they added
yeah. And it's like that, which is a smart way to keep him in town, you know, as a writing device. Like you don't really think about like, oh yeah, he lost his hearing as a kid. You know, you don't really think about where that's going to lead to and what that's going to affect him in the future, you know? And then for that to be the thing that keeps him in town, and then he's staying, but then his like work for the community during that time as well.
Well, and then also it's a good idea because you don't want to get, because then the idea too is you don't want to make him somehow
a war hero
or a draft dodger.
Yes.
Especially in 1946. You don't want
to
do
that. But
then
having his brother be this war hero.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It was a good idea.
Yeah.
And it is, you know, that's what a lot of it.
You can really teach history through this movie.
Well, it's even like something I thought was really cool was it's that scene, it's the high school graduation, and they're talking about the new floor. We just got the new floor in, and then
the thing that was his idea.
Yeah, well, then he goes, well, I hope it works. And I thought that was just 1920s colloquialisms of, oh, we got the new floor in. Oh, I hope it works. You know, like I thought it was like a joke on the dance floor is going to work or it's not going to work. And then sure enough, it ended up being this contraption that he came up
did you
with.
not hear them say that they put the pool under the floor?
Later they say that.
No, he said when you're talking about the floor, they're like, "Oh, that was a great idea, George, to put the pool under the floor."
Yeah. But at the dinner scene, all he says is the new floor is in.
Oh, at that scene, that's
And
what you're
then
talking about. Gotcha.
George
gotcha.
then goes,
Well, I hope it
it works. And I thought it was just like a, thing. And then sure enough.
him being a little snarky.
Yeah, or, just like 1920s. Oh, I hope the dance floor works.
I just remember their housemaid.
Oh, Annie.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, obviously, this is 1946. It is a product of its time. So there is some racist undertones and, white privilege through this entire film.
That's what I was also kind of trying to figure out. They seem pretty well off for being poor.
Well, because being poor back then was not as bad as it is being today, because the class divide wasn't as large. There's now today more potters that exist with more wealth than there were back then. Does that make sense?
I think that if I ever see pinned butterflies on your wall, that feels like a waspy thing to do.
I mean, it is a very waspy thing to do.
So when they're like talking about how poor they are, and I'm like, well, you got poor little pinned butterflies on your wall.
Yeah, it's also probably really cheap back then. Easy to do.
I'm just saying. It's interesting how social constructs change.
Yeah.
And your idea of things.
Well, it's like back in that day, it's like,
they had a servant.
The one homeless person that lived on the street was also probably, just sometime.
Yeah, I just realized too. They're poor and they have a servant.
Well, the Baileys weren't. Everyone else in the town was.
No,
the Baileys worked. The Baileys made enough money to do what they needed, but there was never enough for George to do the extra that he wanted to do. Potter explains that. Now you probably make $40 an hour.
But he's always complaining. I don't know. I just feel.
I mean, also think about it. $45 an hour in 1946. The Baileys weren't poor. It was the town that was poor
because Potter was keeping him under steel.
Yes.
Potter was awesome.
The guy that played Potter played Scrooge, and did Scrooge and then radio plays. Yeah,
we always did this did this kind of thing.
He's a good villain.
Yeah, he was good. Yeah. And that he's got this wheelchair, but it's this ornate chair.
Sit me up.
Yeah. He was awesome. For the money.
Well, and also that's the thing is I can see even in I'm really curious about reviews from the 1940s. Because, in one of your reviews where they're talking, I think they have the shallowness of the script or whatever. All of the characters are very much, they're flushed out in a way, but they're still very tropey, cliched characters. But at this time, I feel like this is, it's not cliched enough. There's not 80 years on top of seeing it again and again and again and again.
Okay, a couple of things. One, this one, the fourth,
Capra?
Capra.
Frank Capra?
Yeah, Frank Capra won the fourth Golden Globe for Best Director.
For this?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I just thought that was crazy. The fourth. It's happened 4 times. This is the 4th time.
Yeah.
That's just crazy to think about. But it's we've done reviews in the past
Mm-hmm.
where the tropes are so annoying, and then we kind of go, well, take a step back. At the time, they weren't. But even with the tropes in this, it didn't feel annoying because there's almost a level of genuine. They feel flushed out enough,
It feels fresh.
George and Mary do feel and I think it is also, and I don't know if it's supposed to be funny, but there's just these moments that are just really funny. He has that. I have seen so many of these scenes and just didn't know what it was from because it is such a cinema iconic thing. But there's that whole scene where he's like, I'm not getting married today or ever. And he has this, he's grabbing her and I'm not doing that, and then it fades out. Oh, by the way, I don't have no ads on Amazon. Oh. I have ads because I refused to give him that $3. But it was that scene. I'm never getting married today. Not ever. And then it cuts to fucking Jack from Jack in the Box. And it was the most jarring, terrifying moment because it's just him in a chair going, hello.
There's no ad. I only had an ad at the very beginning when I watched it.
Yeah, because you don't.
No, I was watching it on the PlayStation.
Then your profile. Don't know what to tell you because on my profile on Amazon, I have ads.
I don't know. That's weird.
Anyways, But yeah, Jack came in. But the point I was making is that he's doing this whole thing, and then it fades out, and then the next scene is them getting married.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was just, I really wish that commercial wasn't in there because it really ruined the momentum of it. But
did it go into them actually like breaking down and him actually kissing her?
yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I just thought that like I was like, is that supposed to be funny? Because it was kind of, is this supposed to be funny?
I think for 1946, that's supposed to be kind of romantic.
Okay. Because it was very,
But
and to 2025,
to us, millennials were like, wow, that was fucking wild to do.
it was like a wild
have a weird
crash out.
like
and
love
then,
crash out, and then she's also into this. Like if I was to be like, I never want to get married, I never want, but I love you. The girl would probably be like, get the fuck away from me.
what is it? Why don't you like me?
Why won't you just love me back?
What did she say? Pearl, what did she say?
Oh, what does she say?
Why don't you like me?
Oh yeah.
What are you doing here, Mr. Goose? Get out of there, man. Get out of there.
And she killed Superman.
She did.
And Pearl's that kryptonite.
Who knew Superman could be killed by a pitchfork?
But
I also, that's kind of what I was getting to too, is that these characters are rudimentary, I guess is a way to think of it, but they do still feel flushed out. And even then it's like Mary is this device for him, but it doesn't, a lot of times we watch it and the device thing it comes off almost insulting.
Mm-hmm.
And Mary didn't feel insulting to me.
No, because there was actually a genuine like interest from her to him, like the George lassos the moon picture.
Yeah, and they have like they had
a great screen chemistry.
Yeah, so I mean they
together.
really, it didn't feel like, I don't know, like an insulting one is like Jim Carrey and Zooey Deschanel. That one just doesn't feel, that feels like let's give this
Will Ferrell and Zooey Deschanel.
Yeah, let's give this this 40-year-old man a girl 20 years his young. You know what I mean? Like it's just, But this didn't feel like that because of the chemistry they had, and even their like meet cute. You know, like
well, they did. That's also that 1940s way of like filming your love interest, your starlet, with like that weird soft filter and the light coming in.
Yeah,
and it makes her eyes pop in a way where it kind of looks like it's almost as if it's the
Morticia. That's what makes me think of.
Yeah, no, that's what it's from. Yeah. That's where it's inspired by.
No, Morticia's Bela Lugosi.
Well, but
whenever he did though.
Well, but with that starlit filter idea put on top of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And also just like the shadow, also the film noir with the shadow of the blinds. But it's like that soft filter where, like, you know, when you're seeing your love for the first time, or the person you love, you kind of get this soft feeling.
Fuzzy butterfly.
Yeah. And then it's also that she's emulating that feeling as well, the way that she looks at him. Yeah. So like that helps a lot. That carries a lot of that.
Yeah.
It's not a used technique anymore. It's a very classic Hollywood technique. But she actually has like genuine care for him. Changing gears. We haven't really talked much about Clarence, the angel.
Yeah, I mean,
and I think he's actually, I feel like in a weird way, this movie is more Clarence's story, even though we watched George Bailey.
Yes. It only makes me laugh because I don't know.
Our catharsis of having George, like the Christmas miracle at the end, I think is, you know, that's the catharsis we want, because we want to see George Bailey, you know, not take his life and, you know, succeed and, win at the end of the day. But from the beginning, we are introduced to Clarence first, and then we're essentially, we are Clarence watching George Bailey's life.
Yeah.
With these entities. And then when he comes down, now we are watching Clarence do his work to save George, to earn his wings.
Yeah, but that I don't know. That just makes the whole thing very transactional, which kind of cheapens it a lot.
I think maybe in a modern sense, but in a 1940s sense, a very Christian narrative idea, an angel earning their wings is a very like powerful idea
Well,
you
yeah,
know?
but he's not even that. I don't know, because it takes this whole idea that he's a dead guy becoming an angel.
That Clarence is a dead guy becoming
Yeah.
an angel? Well, he says that he's like 200 and something years old.
Yeah, like, well, when he was alive, what are they wearing down there these days?
Oh.
Well,
I mean, that's also...
I know it's the same. It's the Cindy Lou Who thing. I don't know if I mentioned that in How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
No.
Well, that's always been a problem with How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
Oh, the transactional nature of Cindy Lou.
Yeah,
you brought that up,
she wants to feel better because
Yes,
her
yeah.
faith is being shook. So if she can help the Grinch, then she will feel better.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, that takes out the, I'm using air quotes for those listening, the Christian, the Christmas miracle of, sacrificing yourself for the good of others, the Christ idea.
Well, I mean, Clarence's thing is just to make sure that George Bailey doesn't take his life.
To get his wings. He's not doing it because he doesn't want George Bailey to take his wife. It's if he does, this is my one chance to get my wings.
Well, yeah.
And I just mean, all I'm saying is if you think about Clarence too hard, it kind of cheapens the whole deal because of the fact that it feels transactional. And I'm sorry, at the beginning of there too, or, oh no, we got to go help George Bailey. Is he sick? Worse. He's sad. Yeah. I was like, man, dude, God's priorities are fucked. What about little Timmy over there? He can't walk. He'll be fine.
He'll be fine. George Bailey, though.
George Bailey, he's sad. Like, what the I just love that. Oh, is he sick? No, worse. Like, the fuck are you talking about?
He is about to die.
It is very white Christian.
It is very, very white. Christian,
White American Christian.
Yeah. Apparently, this is actually very popular in Europe or in England as a
I can
Christmas
see
movie.
that.
Yeah.
I can see that. I mean,
The ideals kind of fit.
yeah, but I also think I think that American, I could see a lot of, especially the divisions within our own Christian community of this and that. I could see people having a problem with the talking cosmos being a representation of the all powerful.
Well, there's an
Almighty.
actual thing that's based off of that I think is a brain. Stephan's Quintet. The angelic figure depicted at the beginning of the film is an image of Stephan's Quintet, a group of 5 interacting galaxies. Oh, okay. So, and this is at a time where people probably look up and the galaxies are the heavens. So it's the heavens speaking with each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I still stand by what I could see a lot of certain conservative types having an issue with that.
sure, maybe.
Maybe.
I think the conservative types at that time are probably like, oh, the heavens are talking to each other.
I don't know. We'll never know.
Yeah.
I mean, I might know because I'm a time traveler, but
Oh, there you go.
I told you my theory about that.
Nope.
No? On my grandmother, my grandmother's grandmother, so my great grandmother.
Sure.
Sure. Anyways,
Are you your own grandfather?
No. There's a marriage certificate between her and her husband,
Mm-hmm.
and
I
down
think you have to
on
do
the
this,
witness
actually.
list is a Thomas Dallum.
Yeah.
So I'm just convinced I'm a time traveler at some point.
Okay.
I just don't. I'm not.
And it's just Thomas is just,
At some point, I'm gonna.
you're the only one named Thomas
I'm gonna-
Dallin ever exists.
Okay, that's weird from my grandmother's to know a Thomas Dallum generations before. You don't think that's a little odd?
No,
Why?
because Thomas is a common name.
Dallum. The last name specifically.
Oh, and it's not on the Dallum side of the
No,
family.
it's just a witness.
Oh.
It's just a witness that was at the wedding of
Okay.
these of the balls and whatever.
I don't know how common your last name is, actually.
I don't either.
I've never met another Dallum.
Mm-mm.
Never met another Henthorn.
Mm-mm.
We're unique. No, you actually, I think you have actually told me that before. I've just forgotten.
I don't even remember why we were talking about that.
Time travel, I don't know, gods, quintet, the universes.
The cosmos talking
Yeah.
to each other.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't know. I just I find it kind of interesting because there is kind of like two arcs we have in this. And like, obviously the one that we are most invested in is George Bailey's, because he's the one that we watch go through these trials and tribulations.
Yeah, the common man.
Yeah. But then
Well, common man thing.
we have also Clarence's, who is introduced at the very beginning before it all, and the importance of Clarence achieving this goal of saving George Bailey is just as important for us to watch George Bailey succeed, you know?
Yeah.
So Clarence putting in that work, even though, yes, could be construed as transactional, is necessary for the plot for George Bailey because George Bailey needs to be saved. You know? He's going to kill himself.
Get rid of his greatest gift.
Dude, and also like you said it when we were watching it, just that line that Potter says to him, "You're worth more dead than alive."
Well, yeah, that's even just the writing of this is just interesting and just thought out just enough. Like it's going to this way where it's like that. Oh, he's gonna jump off the bridge because he's sad, and Christmas is gonna bring him back. And I was like, not to diminish that, but in a movie idea of the Christmas spirit saving all, I was just like, oh God, here we go. But then when it's like kind of inceptioned by Potter, you know,
it's like Bailey realizes, or you know, it's like this sense of like the $8,000 just went missing, you know, because his Uncle Billy's a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
And realizing that, well, if I am dead, there's $15,000 to not only save the business, it'll save the town, it'll save my family. He's really willing to do the ultimate sacrifice for everyone in this town.
Well, and even then with the Potter saying that, it's like he's just being snide. He's not actually suggesting
no, not at all,
that George go jump off a bridge.
No.
He is just making a snide observation.
But it's like George is in such a dark place.
And guess what you can't do now?
Take your own life or jump off that bridge.
You can't take your own life and get your insurance policy.
Oh, yeah. Well, they even like say in like after like, you know, Clarence, like after Clarence jumps in and then George Bailey ends up saving Clarence, they're talking to the guy at the lighthouse or whatever the frick that was from the bridge, that it's illegal to take your own life. So,
well, yeah, but that's because we live in a Christian nation. It wasn't until later insurance policies.
Insurance policies pulled that. Yeah,
made it so that if you.
But who's going to jail? Or I guess if you attempt, then you go. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I like that scene too. Well, here it's legal. Well, where I come from, it's illegal too. Like, oh yeah, cool. I did think that whole transition of going into not existing to re-existing again,
or just Pottersville.
Well, that reminded, I guess,
Back to the Future too.
That's what it reminded me of.
I wouldn't be surprised if Zemeckis took it so much.
Fuck yeah, dude! There's no fucking way. It's not a question. I don't need to speculate. I'll put money on that. No, I was gonna say. Oh no, just the transition of him not existing and that scene. You know, suddenly the clothes are dry. He can hear out of his ear. His lips not bleeding. Little things like that. And then in the end, when the snow starts again.
Oh yeah.
And then the cop shows. You know, and it's just this beautiful transition where he gets out and he's all on edge still because the cop's coming after him. By the way, cop totally opened fire at a room full of people. Basically, that was wild. I guess a lot hasn't changed in America. Like, fucking George punches the cop and then he says, "Get down!" and it just unloads through the entire intersection, his entire gun. And you're like, he punched you. Like, sure, chase after him and handcuff him. Don't open fire into the crowd, you fucking lunatic.
I wonder if cops have more impunity during this time than they did.
I want to go with, yeah. There's cameras everywhere now. Before it was just like, don't know what you're talking about. My gun slipped 6 times.
My gun slipped. All right, but the transition.
Yeah. And then then the cop shows up and he's still on edge because of this weird Twilight Zone he was just in.
Yeah.
And then, that's always just fun. The manicness.
Yeah.
Of those kind of scenes in movies. And then he's running through the
Jimmy Stewart's fucking great. Yeah.
And he's like,
Merry Christmas, banking loans. Merry Christmas.
You old banking loans. Yeah. It's just like, I don't know. And then he goes, and then he gets home, and then those cops are really understanding because they let him just wander around his house for a while looking for his family before they go. Like, He's like going ready to get the warrant, like they're ready to arrest him, but they just kind of let him have his moment. They go, we find it better if we let them tucker themselves out first. Like, I don't know why they're not more like.
let the kid tire him.
Yeah. Like he's got the zoomies. I don't know why they're letting him do that. Because especially you just had old sheriff over here.
Again, this is, white privilege shining through very, very
well. I don't know. I mean, like I was saying, the sheriff cop guy was opening fire on him, and then these other.
That was in the alternate reality, though.
Yeah, I mean,
when Pottersville was a lot more aggressive.
yeah. Everyone was just kind of on edge, I guess. It's true. I mean, Pottersville looked like a good time.
There's apparently a book about that continuation story.
Really?
Yeah.
I'd read that. Pottersville seems like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Dangerous, but fun.
Do you have any more thoughts?
And then just the ending is.
It is a really genuine. I mean, it is the epitome of what we now know as the Christmas miracle ending for the Christmas movie.
Well, then it's like again, and then
it's really quick. I actually want to finish my thought here. It's such an epitome of it, and it's like something that in any other movie I would just be like, oh, but this actually made me tear up
because there's the genuine, and I think it's all the little details too.
Yeah.
And I think going back into the whole Mary thing, the fact that it was Mary that went to the rescue of her family. She was also, we don't really get to see a lot of what she's going through because that's not the lens we're looking at. We're looking at George's perspective of the whole thing. But Mary realized, well, I mean, first there's that crash out scene, which that's
in front of the kids.
Where that's the scene where Mary should have been like, hey, can you come into the other room for a second? Yeah. Like, instead of, why do you torment the children so? Or whatever she does. Yeah. And you're like, girl, like, get your man under control. But like, and he's saying some wild shit to those children.
Yeah.
Then that was the scene I was talking about where I felt kind of like the Mary we come to know feels like she would have said something to him about.
Yeah, possibly, but it's also like she's seeing a side of George she's never seen before.
So she's also kind of like, I don't know how to interact with this.
Yeah, I don't know what to take. I don't know what to do with this.
Yeah.
But
then like the fact that she's the one that went and got everybody.
Well, because she finds out.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But like the fact that she becomes like the end hero of the story. She's the one that saves the day.
Well, it's like just like she's the one that offered the money to the town. She's now the one that rallies the town.
And I think that's why
it's that mirroring thing. I love those. Those are the two most important scenes I think in this entire film.
Yeah, and I think that also it's that she's more than just some like I feel like people would argue that she is just a device, and it's like, well, yes and no, because she's also
kind of the Deus Ex Machina.
She kind of is. She is the driving force in. By her doing the money thing there is what allows the money thing to actually come and save the day later. Yes. And she is the one that rallies the troops to come to the Bailey's aid.
Yeah, and it is very much... I don't think that scene of them giving the money at the end would have anywhere as near as impact if you didn't have that scene, especially because that scene at the bank and loan, or borrow loan, or the fuck it's called.
Build and
loan, thank you. That's right, because it's about building houses for them, yeah.
It's like subsidized housing.
I literally just put that together.
Yeah, it's like it's subsidized housing before subsidized housing.
Yeah, exactly. That's the beginning of the economic crash, of the Great Depression. So this moment that he's able to rally the town together and help them in this dark moment and keep them out of the claws of Potter, and then for it to flip over and now he's at the claws of Potter, the town coming and helping him. If you don't have that first scene, that Christmas miracle,
it doesn't matter.
Christmas miracle is just like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, the townspeople came to save the day.
Yeah. Oh, because George Bailey was such a nice man.
He
put himself on the line for them time and time again. We see it, and especially in that moment.
What?
And that's what makes it so magical.
Yeah, and we see it, and I think, yeah, and that's why I'm so curious about this abridged version, because it kind of feels like, I don't know, there's nothing. Unless they're trying to take out some of the offensive stuff, unless they're trying to cover their tracks, like, you know what I mean?
Cuts out a lot of Annie, and then maybe cuts out some of the war propaganda. No, not propaganda, but war telling thing, maybe? I don't know. 20 minutes. That's a lot.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, though. But even Annie, I like.
I wonder if they cut out a lot of Pottersville.
Like, Annie was funny.
Maybe they cut out Violet?
Maybe. Yeah, maybe a lot of Pottersville, because you didn't really need a lot of that.
No. Just the bar scene, really.
You just need him to get punched. Really,
Yeah.
that's all you need from that.
Yeah.
Maybe the robe scene. But even Annie, like Annie, I thought was just a funny character in the sense, like because she's like a member. She's a member of the family. She's a member of the family, and even she.
I had this money saved up for when I get divorced.
When I finally get divorced. I was like, that's
if I find myself a man.
Yeah, it was like a really good line. It was just really funny, but. I really don't know what the 20 minutes.
Oh, let's not get hung up on that. We're at 55.
Okay,
So
I'm done. That was
Yeah.
What do you want to give it?
Fuck, I don't know, like 4, 5.
I was thinking a 4 or 5. I mean,
this is a little bit. I mean, I can't really speak much for a lot of the films for this era, but I will say there are some editing problems in this goddamn film.
Oh my god! No, but know what's weird about it too? It's kind of more towards the end. Where it's like they got tired.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, what? Why is there jump cuts in the middle of this scene?
It's like all fine.
It's like Mary's walking, and then all of a sudden she's over here and looking at it. And you're like, what? Well, what just happened?
There's one in the very beginning where it's when George goes and defends his dad to Potter.
Yeah.
What's his dad's name? I don't remember. Old man Bailey is behind the desk, and then in human speed, he's suddenly on the other side.
Yeah.
There's like that, which is like, okay, that's just a continuity thing. But there are ones that are just like,
yeah. Yeah, there's literally like when like George lies down on the bed with her, and then he just like kind of lightly crosses her face, and then it like jump cuts to a zoom in, and he's like, I'm over you, and then he's like
yeah.
And it's like, what just happened? Like, but it's like that also again, because I always wonder about this is how much audiences really fully noticed that back in the 1940s, because cinema was such a new thing where jump cuts like that could not, it could, like, the brain is still like learning how to process.
Yeah, new information.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't know. I mean, and I don't know, I feel weird about saying this. And there are, like you said in the top of it too, there are things in this that are a product of
its time.
Its time. But at the same time,
I wouldn't use any of that as a reason to give it a lesser.
No, but the thing is like it is, but there are also, when you boil it down, the story it's telling is it's a good story.
Yeah.
And there are some problematic things, but at the same time, it's not like it's, I think what makes it less is that it's not a comedy that is taking things like that and using them as devices to get a laugh. That ages and spoils like milk. You know what I mean? But the fact that this is almost a little bit of comedy, but a drama about this man, this white man in the 1940s going through trying to keep this, like I was saying, this subsidized housing project going before we even had that term. That wasn't even really a thing yet, And it's this idea of that he's trying to keep this particular almost, and what's kind of interesting too, it's not the community, it's almost a niche part of the community. It's not all the community's a part of it. It's just kind of the ones that have finally decided to stand up against Potter, so it's like kind of this little compound that he's kind of making, and then he creates the Bailey Farm and everything like that, or whatever it's called.
Yeah. Well, and then I guess like another, like one of the biggest things for this is there is a sense of exaggeration and over the topness of the town. Like one of the reviews I think was talking about that, where there's a sense of unrealisticness through it, which it sits in its form well, but I can see that being the thing that kind of like takes away a little bit of it as well.
Yeah, but I find that weird because I don't go into this movie expecting reality.
A super grounded,
No, because it's like,
even though it is very much grounded.
It is, but that's what it is. It's really grounded, but it's really, and that's the idea. It's idolizing this small town mentality of community, of bringing people together, and that's why Pottersville.
Such a fucking American dream movie.
It is.
Ugh.
It's 1946.
I know.
That's what they were selling. But it's like, and then that's why the Pottersville, the corruption is just so jarring, because that sense of community is just completely gone. You know what I mean? And it's like, that's what is horrifying, is all these people he's grown up with. He's been fighting against Bedford Falls for so long.
Fighting for, you talking about Potter?
No, George.
fighting for Bedford Falls.
No, against it, because he hasn't wanted to be a part of it. But he has
Oh,
been
I see what
forced,
you- I see
but
what
he's
you
been
mean,
pushing back.
Yeah, he's gonna get out of here. He's gonna make.
And then finally he gets teleported. He finally gets his wish and gets out and is now in Pottersville and has a complete breakdown because the sense of community is completely gone. These people that he could rely on, the taxi driver, the cop, like these friends of his, don't know who the hell he is. Even his old boss, who's now the town drunk for murdering a child.
Yeah, and also that is a heartbreaking moment in the Pottersville, is to see Gower come in and like, if George Bailey isn't there, because Gower's going through such a hard time because of his son passing away.
Yeah, and the poison pills.
Accidentally poisons this child, and he's accused of murdering this child. I mean, he did murder the child.
He murdered the child.
But George Bailey...
Drugs and alcohol don't mix.
George Bailey is there to, prevent that from happening. And Gower's like, I'm assuming just went fucking stone sober after that, you know?
Didn't drink ever again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and that's what I mean. It's like this whole... It isn't... every now and then, it would be nice if a little angel came around, plucked you up, and went, hey, you need to look retrospectively on your life and count your blessings for what they are.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be opposed to it. Come on down, Clarence. Give me a little... Get my head on straight. Show me some...
Tom Sawyer just falls from this.
Well, and it's just like, because of that,
And
that's what
then
the story...
Rush starts playing Tom Sawyer.
Because it's like, I could also see people being like, oh, this is the hero thing. Like, he's so important. And it's like, yes, you could see it that way. Or it's everyone is so important. Every life that you touch does have a ripple effect. And it does, whether it be for good or for bad, on purpose or an accident, whatever it might be. Your time here, in the grand scheme of things, in infinite universe, no. But in the time you are here, it is important.
Would you say that films like this can be that angel for some people?
Yeah, because it can make you think like that.
Yeah,
it can make you think like that. Because it's like, granted, it's a kind of exasperated way because he wasn't there to save little Harry, and then Harry didn't become a war hero, and Harry didn't save the 15 people on the transport. It kind of is like this escalating thing.
Well, that. Then also, the same thing with Gowers,
Well, yeah,
And
but it's
then-
also assuming that they would have, like, that, well, if George isn't born, why is Harry born?
Why would Harry not be born?
Because they never had the first kid, so maybe they're like, actually, we decided not to have any kids.
Well, it just so happened that Harry was born.
I know, but I'm just saying you can really unravel it
You
all.
can unravel all of it. The point of that is to just remove George from the reality. Just George, and the ripple effect with everybody that's still existing in there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously his children don't exist. Would that be weird if his kids did?
Was Zuzu? Yeah, right. It was because they're not his kids. That
They're
would be
Sam's. They're Sam's kids.
Oh
No, but Mary. I forgot about the Mary when he
That would be
chases
funny,
Mary
though.
down.
You can make a skit out of that.
Yes,
He's going through
yeah.
the whole thing, for some reason the children are still there, and that's how he figures out they're not really his kids. Right? That's pretty good. That's like a Family Guy skit or something.
That's an SNL skit
Yeah,
right there.
that's actually really funny. He's going around and the carrots, and he walks in and goes, wait a minute. Wait a second. Zuzu. Can we talk about that for a second? I don't know. 1946, white suburbia, Zuzu.
Oh, her name's Zuzu. Why?
I don't know. It was Tommy, Peter, Jill, Zuzu. I don't know. It just felt...
Maybe that's her nickname.
I don't know. Yeah. I just was like, oh, that one stands out.
Maybe her name's Isabel and they call her Zuzu.
Yeah, maybe. I think she's a ginger, though. Because he calls her a ginger snap, and I didn't know why you would do that unless she was ginger, but then it also felt derogatory.
I feel like we need to watch the colored version now.
I do, too. I really want to know what the hell's going on.
All right. We are a little over an hour.
Yeah, 4.5.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
Should we just let next week be the surprise?
Yeah,
when
we'll
we announce it.
That's
Okay.
okay.
We're trying something different. We're trying something new.
Let's see. What do you think about this? Connect the stars. Willem Dafoe to Will Smith.
Yeah, sure. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed listening to us talk about It's a Wonderful Life, and I hope you all have
Happy holidays.
had a wonderful Christmas. Good holiday season.
Yeah, me too.
You won't hear from us again until the beginning of the next year.
Yeah, New Year. New year, new me. Can't wait to make a resolution I'm not going to commit to. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook. On there are all of our promos. On those promos are a link tree where you can find out where we put all of our stuff. Apple, Spotify, YouTube, all that kind of stuff. Follow us next week when we're trying something new.
Yes.
And
You'll see it in the
you'll
tabloids.
You'll see it in the
Tabloids.
and then if you want to join in the game this week, we'll be connecting them.
Will Smith to Willem Dafoe.
Yeah, so if you have a good one, put it in the comments. Other than that, we will talk to you later.
Yeah.
This is Tommy.
This is Jacob.
This is
Tommy and Jacob's mixtape.
Mixtape.
Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock.